to my channel, Country Conversations with Diva D. Now, this is my review for episode 16, season 15, episode 16, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Well, the episode opens up with Sonia and Marlo. They're with Dr. Jackie. Now, when they arrive with Dr. Jackie gives so much foreshadowing, right? It's so much foreshadowing of what's going to happen to Sonia. And I don't know if it was because we knew what was going to happen or what, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, it seems like it's, the elements are all there for the foreshadowing because, Dr. Jackie warned her last episode to not, involve Ducey so much as, because, he fell in love with the baby, and kind of sort of like when, I saw that baby on the screen, 5 weeks was what it was. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe my baby, number 2, had a heartbeat at 5 weeks. I could, see the fluttering on the ultrasound, and they kind of showed it to me. I'm almost positive of that, especially at 5 weeks, and I think she said 2 days. So, right there, there were red flags, in the beginning. But she's so excited she don't, I guess she kind of forgot what it was like when she was pregnant the last time. Okay, Kenya is doing Brookie's hair, and Brooke says, more moisturizer. So I said, okay, Miss Brookie. Now, Candy and Todd talk about the movie. They talk about the movie, and Todd is there in their robes. It's so cute. They're relaxing, and Drew is in bed. Drew's finally getting a break from the movie. The movie has wrapped, and she's sitting in bed, and next thing you know, boop, 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 here comes Ralph. Well, we find out that Ralph and Drew are still sleeping in separate rooms. He's sleeping with the boys. Now, she is saying that she's doing all types of compromises, like, she's turning down the heat because he likes it cool, and he's still over there. He sees absolutely nothing wrong with it. So she lets him know that his law cousin, calls her a bitch. Now, I don't call it cousin-in-laws. I will go to the in-law degree because, I grew up around my cousins, and it is a funny dynamic knowing that you're not related, and then you can have these little attractions or whatever. But they just met. I grew up around my cousin, and that's what makes it weird because they just met, and it's real. Okay, they're not cousins, but they have I would say, a relative in common. So both of them are related to somebody, or maybe like a cousin or aunt in the middle. Okay, now I really want to skip right on by this. So I'm not going to spend much time on it. Sheree has Mecca, a beautiful little baby. Then the next thing is Sheree meets with her daughter that she claimed to be her sister when I first saw it. Now, a lot of people say she called her an assistant, but she wasn't claiming it either way. I remember her being a daughter. They get to talking about Bob and Bob's other daughter, Candace. So, Tiara admits that she had met Candace at their grandmother's house and never mentioned it to Sheree, which is very weird to me, knowing that, the siblings knew that they had another sibling out there. And so everybody knows about the party that's coming up. And then, Callie is assisting Sheree in her closet. And she pulls out one of the bags that Motel Hotel bought her. And she was like, nice. Surprisingly. Oh, yeah, Callie shades on Motel. Nobody likes Motel. Then moving right along, Marlo meets with Scotty. No time spent on that. Gonna breeze right on by. Nothing there. Now, Drew and Ralph. See, back to Drew and Ralph. Let me just say this. Drew also, Ralph demeans her and minimizes how she's feeling. He mentions, it's okay to, basically saying that it's okay for other women to call her bitches since, the girls in the group call her bitches. But she was like, I don't know, Courtney like that. My thing is, where he went wrong is he should have acknowledged her feelings. That is the point. That is the point. Allison was trying to make the egg-shaped head fool. Okay? This is where I see it. So they go to counseling, and in counseling, he continuously minimizes her feelings. He goes on into this tangent about how her best friend and her husband don't sleep in the same room together either. And Doc's looking like, what? Later on in life, my parents stopped sleeping together, but that's because my daddy was becoming very, very ill, and it was, becoming difficult for my mother to sleep. But that's not the case here. But Ralph is a jackass. Period. So they get into it about that, and then he tells her, and then she's like, duh, they about to get a divorce though. Then he's like, who doesn't get divorced? Like, people who are married just go get divorces like they go around the corner to get a carton of eggs. He minimized it again. Now, let me weave some psychology in here. I am a psychology major, was a psychology major. I did not get my PhD to diagnose. So, we do beat the word narcissist to death. But the true definition of a narcissist is someone who can't control themselves in, recognizing other people's feelings. This is Ralph. Ralph deflects. Everything is somebody else's fault. You talking about accountability, politics, he plays. And even though later on, Candy says that Drew gaslights Ralph, Drew does not gaslight Ralph. Drew is an actress, honey. And that's what she does from day to day. And she brings it into the marriage, which it does cause problems. She has her issues too, because Drew can lie. Baby, Drew can lie. So Candy calls Don One, and Don One is like the perfect right hand man. I wish I had a Don One in my life. Somebody that can wrangle up my children and help me, keep from about damn near breaking their necks. Just jokes, people, just jokes. I'm just saying. He's just the perfect right hand man. I mean, he's honest with her, and she lets him be. And that's how you grow a good working relationship. Let your employees express themselves. You don't want to work in an environment, because when I was a supervisor at a call center, I always let my employees come to me because it is stressful at working in a call center. Trust me, I know. So, Todd and Candy, has set a number as to how many people they wanted to come to the event. Shout out to Tisha. And it was supposed to be 100, but that number doubled. And Don was pretty honest about it. Drew calls Ralph, to come and get her. So they go together, not to come and get her, but she calls him, the hubby that knows how to be a hubby in public. So she calls him the, in front of people husband. He knows how to act in other words. So, Cheekbone says she brings a fine hairdresser, and she says the only thing they have going on is laying the wigs. Allie and Courtney have a conversation to the side. She finally admits that she does call Drew a bitch. But, you know, Allison is like, hey, you're not off the hook that easily. You said you didn't use the word. Drew backs out of the conversation. And she says she has to get ready to do her set. Oh, by the way, in a previous scene, I forgot to mention that Kenya is having breakfast with her dad. And Brooklyn gets a little disrespectful with Granddad. And she told her, you know, don't talk to him like that. You know, Granddad, you know, we hadn't seen him in a long while. And she admits that her and Granddad had some issues in the past, but they were working on them. And I like that about Kenya and her dad, because Kenya has no relationship with her mom, and I know she would hate to lose her relationship with her dad. And she lets him know that she wants to conceive again. But he said, no, baby, don't do that. Y'all almost died the last time. That man is honest. And she was like, well, she thinks she's going to do a surrogate. But the problem is Mark. Mark has the embryo. Now, while we're on Kenya, I just want to say I don't like the way they did her event. That event was gorgeous from what I saw. Shout out to Mims. Make it make sense. I saw he did a full video of it, and he was fair to Kenya. And I think that they should have shown it. That would have been very nice to round out her season, because she's so unhappy with the show at this time. Yeah, I'm talking about her interview with Carlos. Yeah, moving forward. Back to the event. So Drew gets ready to perform, and she does an awesome job up there singing. And Sheree arrives, and she looks like she has a llama wig or alpaca strategically placed on her head. They all take pictures, and the show wraps, okay? So March comes around, and there is Marlo. Marlo is in the kitchen, and she's reading about Drew's so-called infidelities. Well, Drew is in the confessional, and while she's getting ready to prepare for her confessional, Sheree comes in, and Sheree is real sweet to her, and she tells her that her dad had passed too, so she was, you know, very emotional. And that was a good moment for Sheree, because you very rarely see Sheree being vulnerable. I don't know if Sheree shades or reads well, but I think it's her pretentiousness that I don't like. I think that's what it is. And then she lied to me. Between her and Drew, they're the ones who should be friends. Because, wow, Drew gets in that confessional, and she says that her and Ralph, that, you know, I'm talking about her and Ty. Let me get to her and Ty. They ask her about Ty, and she says that she only knows Ty from going to see her in a basketball game. Well, they place the Twitterverse ain't gonna let Drew make it. Because they was posting all types of stuff showing that girl was lying about knowing Ty. This is where we realize that Sonya has lost her baby. And they were having difficulties telling Deucey. But she has a rainbow baby, so we're going to move on from there. Now, Drew and Ralph both have confessions. He's telling his version. She's telling her version. We find out they're still living together for the children. Weird. I know he was already sleeping in separate bedrooms. The house is probably big enough for them not to live together. But when you're separated, especially when she is accusing him of DV. Both of them are accusing each other of cheating. Weird. They're accusing each other of cheating. Ralph talks to his lawyer. She talked to her lawyer. Neither one of them could tell anything. So Courtney gets her own separate confessional where she just tells that, from the windows to the walls, like, you know, Joe is taking on Rhoa, and she was so into getting this divorce because now she wants to be with her gay lover, so that's why she was so insistent on Ralph adopting her baby. Well, Courtney, she knew that Ralph was the only father involved in his life. I'm not sure if she was just looking for child support, but you are speaking the words of a male-centered minded woman. So you're taking the word of your cousin, in-law. Okay? Stay out of it. That's not your business. Now she's like, he has like a lot of discovery. Which means that she's saying that he has a lot of evidence of Drew cheating. The trailer comes on, right? Everybody is, set up reading Drew's She News. Or it's about Drew, but I believe Sheree is, came up with some kind of way to print out this little newspaper type thing. So they're all looking at the receipts showing that Ty and Drew are having exchanges. I don't know what they possibly could be saying, but whatever it is, they seem to think it was juicy. Okay, so Candy and Sheree are going back and forth. Now I don't know what point in the trailer this is because they just sprinkling in tidbits to get you to watch. But she stands up and she's like, "You could never." And then she say, "Well, you say you hadn't had any work done, no shots, right? Because the shots are all in your face." Yes, they are. Whatever that is in Sheree's face, she's almost unrecognizable. So Candy got her ass there for sure. Now, at the end of the last episode, it said that Sheree was still with Martell. Now, that is how I would love for her to explain that when he over on his show, begging mail, still in season 6, part 2 of their season over there. So let me see if you're going to go over there. Go get your man. Go get your man, Sheree. Because in their trailer, he got a little ditty that he brought to Houston with him. So y'all still together? Mm-hmm. Come on, Sheree. Now, that reunion is more so in present time. Of course, everything was taped back in January. But their reunion was probably taped the 1st of this month. Okay? So, that means that around the same time, he was over here begging Melanie Sheree on TV. On TV, Sheree. So Sheree gives Drew the bag that she said she didn't get and had the unseen thing because she wanted Candy to open it. And Kenya shades the mess out of Marlo and tell her she looks like Mrs. Rhoa. Only thing missing was that little red tight wig that Mrs. Rhoa used to wear. If y'all know anything about Miss Rhoa, then y'all know that that's exactly how she dressed every day. Now, me, I said she looked more like Diana Ross coming out. Ain't no mountain, ain't no river to keep me from you. I digress. But anyway, she looked like she was on the stage. But Miss Roper did look like that as well. And I used to love the way Miss Roper dressed, by the way. I thought she was like, she would be around the house, but she was always in those types of things that Marlo had. But anyway, back to the trailer. So they bring out Ralph. And Ralph is, talking about how he would indeed like to get back with his wife, but he knows that she has this side thing going on with Ty. But Drew throws it back here. She's talking about how he's getting BJ's on the side too, and she's got text messages too. Honey, it is getting real down to the ATL. I am ready for the reunion. How about you? Let me know in the comments. This is Diva D, and you can catch me on Twitter at QT2, and you can catch me on Instagram at QueenD41. I am out, and that is my review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta and a little sprinkle of